friends, welcome back, and if you're new to our channel, thank you for stopping by. Well, today I have a beautiful knitting pattern to share with you. It is a 10-row pattern for which I have already cast 28 stitches. Let us start off with the first row of the pattern, and we are going to start off with 3 number of purl. 1, 2 and 3. Yarn backwards. From here starts the repeat pattern. It's going to start off with 2 number of knit, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, 1 and 2, yarn backwards, a knit, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, yarn backwards, 2 number of knit, yarn forward, 4 number of purl, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So after the 3 stitches we have worked 13 stitches, and we are going to repeat that. Yarn backwards, it's going to start off with again 2 number of knit. It's a very easy pattern. Yarn forward, 2 number of purl, yarn backwards, a knit, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, yarn backwards, 2 number of knit. Now finally we have 3 stitches left. All of it is going to be purl. 1, 2 and 3. So the first row of our pattern comes to an end. Now let us move on to the second row of the pattern, which is again extremely easy. We just have to purl till the very last stitch of this particular row. So here we go. It's going to be just purl. So this is the second row of the pattern, which is just to purl all across. This is a 10-row pattern. Now here I would like to repeat this pattern requires stitches in the multiple of 13 plus 2. So I have taken 13 into 2 is 26 plus 2, 28 stitches for this particular sample, and it is a 10-row pattern. It is mostly the repeat of 2 rows, just excepting 1 row. So it is going to be very easy, and here my second row is about to come to an end. So the second row comes to an end. Now let us move on to the third row of the pattern. We are going to start off with 3 number of purl, yarn backwards. From here starts the repeat pattern. It's going to be 2 number of knit. It's the repetition of the first row. Yarn forward, 2 number of purl, yarn backwards, a knit, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, yarn backwards, 2 number of knit, yarn forward, 4 number of purl, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now let's repeat the sequence again. Yarn backwards, it's going to be 2 number of knit, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, yarn backwards, a knit, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, yarn backwards, 2 number of knit. Finally 3 stitches left, and it is going to be purl. So the third row of the pattern comes to an end. Let us move on to the fourth row of the pattern. The edge stitch is slipped off. After that we are going to purl all across. So this is the fourth row of the pattern, and for this pattern every wrong side is going to be just purl, and that is going to make our work much easier. It's a beautiful pattern, perfect for sweaters, cardigans, pullovers, and it is a 10-row pattern. Here our fourth row comes to an end. Moving on to the fifth row of the pattern, we are going to start off with 3 number of purl. 1, 2 and 3. This is also the repetition of the first row. Now let's start off with the pattern. It's going to be 2 number of knit, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, yarn backwards, a knit, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, yarn backwards, 2 number of knit, yarn forward, 4 number of purl, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So let's repeat again. It's going to be 2 number of knit, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, yarn backwards, a knit, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, yarn backwards, 2 number of knit, and finally we have 3 stitches left, and it is going to be purl. 1, 2, and that's the third stitch. So our 5th row comes to an end. Let's move ahead to the 6th row of the pattern. The edge stitch is slipped off. After that we are going to purl all across. Now this is a beautiful 10 row pattern, very easy to work, and stitches have to be taken in the multiple of 13 plus 2, and for this sample I have taken 13 into 2 are 26 plus 2, that is 28 stitches. And this is the 6th row of the pattern, where we just have to purl all across. And here the 6th row comes to an end. Now let us move on to the 7th row of the pattern. We are going to start off with 3 number of purl, and this is also going to be the repetition of the first row. Now starting off with the pattern, it's going to be 2 number of knit, followed by 2 number of purl, yarn backwards, a knit, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, yarn backwards, 2 number of knit, yarn forward. We are going to work 4 number of purl. That's the pillar actually between the 2 patterns. This is the pillar. So it's going to be 4 number of purl, yarn backwards. Let's start off with the pattern. It's going to be 2 number of knit, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, yarn backwards, a knit, yarn forward, 2 number of purl, yarn backwards, 2 number of knit, and finally it's going to be 3 number of purl. So our 7th row comes to an end. This is how it looks. Let's move on to the 8th row of the pattern. The edge stitch is slipped off. After that we are going to purl all across. This is the 8th row of the pattern, and here I would like to repeat, this is a 10 row pattern. Stitches have to be taken in the multiple of 13 plus 2. So here our 8th row comes to an end, which was just to purl all across. Let us move on to the most crucial row, the 9th row of the pattern. Let us start off with 3 number of knit, 1, 2 and 3. Now from here starts the repeat pattern, and the shifting of the stitches has to take place between the 4 stitches. From the back side of the work, the 2 stitches are going to come in the front. So this is how the shifting is to be done, very carefully, and then let us put it back into the left needle. So there is a twist. Now after that, simply we are going to work the 4 stitches. We are going to knit 2, 3 and 4. So that's done. After that, what we are going to do is we are going to work a knit. Now again the shifting of the stitches. Now again the 4 stitches are to be taken into consideration, and this time the stitches are to be shifted from the front side of the work. This is how we do it. Carefully we are going to pass the right needle and then take off the stitches. The stitches which were in the front are going to take the back position, and the stitch which was there behind comes in the front. After that, it's going to be 4 number of knit, 2, 3 and 4. Yes, so our pattern is done. Now we have to work 4 number of knit. That's the divider, we can say, or the pillar between the 2 stitches. That's 4 number of knit, 3 and 4. Now again we are going to repeat the shifting of the stitches. First we are going to shift from the back side of the work. The 2 stitches which are behind is going to come in the front from the back side of the work, and now we are going to work 4 number of knit. 1, 2, that's 3, and that's the 4th one. That's done. Now we are going to work a knit. Once done, now again the shifting of the stitches, this time from the front side of the work. The 2 stitches which are in the second position are going to come ahead of the 2 stitches, and now we are going to work knit. We are going to knit all the 4 stitches. That's the second, this is the 3rd one, and the 4th. Once done, we have 3 stitches left in our left needle. We are going to knit 1, 2 and 3. All 3 of them is going to be knit. So the 9th row of the pattern comes to an end. Now let us move on to the final row of the pattern, or the 10th row. The edge stitch is slipped off. After that we are going to purl all across. This is the 10th row of the pattern. I would like to repeat here, this is a 10 row pattern. Stitches have to be taken in the multiple of 13 plus 2. So for this sample I have taken 13 into 2s are 26 plus 2, 28 stitches. And mostly it is a repeat of the first row. Just in the 9th row we have to be a little bit careful. Other than that, it is just very easy, because the wrong sides just have to be purled, and even the freshers can try this pattern. I have shown the steps minutely. It should not be a problem. And here our 10th row comes to an end. This is how our beautiful pattern looks. When you work this pattern for ladies cardigan, girls cardigan, we can straight away start off with the pattern, because it is not going to roll up. We don't need to work the rib. This is the first set of pattern where I have worked 10 rows. So thank you my dear friends for staying till the end. If you all have liked the video, do give a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family members. If you are new to our channel, do consider subscribing and stay tuned for interesting videos. So till we meet again, it's bye bye for today. Bye.